What is up, black women? Listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm coming on to talk about how I'm seeing a lot of people online talking about the so-called out of control city and all of these attacks and things that are happening. Let me tell y'all, you do have the Kangs running around in New York City acting like fucking fools. They do that every day. They have been doing that since New York City existed. There has been no increase in the Kangs running around the city, harassing, beating, and doing things to people that is not outside of the ordinary. This is all a ploy for this election that's coming up in November. Just what was it? Yesterday, Trump was literally in New York City at the like wake or viewing of the police officer's body that was killed the other day during a traffic stop in Manhattan. Was it in Manhattan? I may be incorrect. I think it might have been in Mott Haven. But anyway, let me tell you something. Being a cop, a former cop, that police officer did not have to die. Okay, the vests that are issued to New York City police officers need to be adjusted or they need to be given brand new vests. The vests that the cops wear do not cover their entire stomach. It stops like a little bit after the belly button, right? So it leaves all of your pelvic area from like underneath your belly button all the way to the beginning of your pelvis, like your pelvis bone. Now, in my opinion, because I know when I used to be on patrol, I hated those fucking vests. And so I literally went and got my own custom made vest that came all the way down to where, excuse me for saying this, but where my pubic hair started. Because I did not want to ever be in a situation where if I'm on a car stop and you have to think about like how things work. If you're on a car stop and you're a cop standing outside diagonally the window or right up on the window of a driver, if they stick a gun out, they either stick it out the window or raise it up from their lap and they shoot at you, they're going to hit you most likely in your stomach and your chest area. And that's what happened with that cop, right? Now, if his vest would have been a little bit longer in the front, that man would still be alive today. And I'm not saying that to blame the NYPD, but I'm speaking the facts because I'm a person that actually wore those vests. And I know that those vests come up very fucking short in the front of your body. And if they would make better vests and better hats with Kevlar inside of them, many police would still be alive. And that man would definitely be alive today. But anyway, I'm coming to talk about the fact that I don't know what is going on with the truth about these white women running around talking about some man punched her in the face, right? Apparently, they're trying to say it's black males. And we know why I'm saying apparently, because if it was literally a white man, they usually just come out their face and say, oh, I got punched by a white male. They don't say man. They always say white male because they try to stick to the standard of police description when you fill out a report or the description of an individual when it's put out over the airwaves, right? So I noticed that about white women when they're talking in reference to what happens to them in the media, right? So now for some women, especially the students, I know that could be a real thing because in New York City, because y'all know I'm from New York City, really from New York City. I'm not fronting and saying I live here and really don't. I.e. Tanya. I don't know where the fuck she lives. I don't even think she's really here. But anyway, um, most of the like colleges, not the universities, but the colleges, right, are in areas close to places like Chelsea where they say this happened, and in what's the I forget what the area is called by 14 Union Square, but Baruch College is over there, right? So you have a lot of homeless people that are out there, right? And don't get me wrong, just because they're homeless does not mean they're crazy. These are just black dudes with a fucking attitude. Everybody that kills and assaults people that's a black male does not have a mental illness. They are just angry and fucking violent, right? But I really think that New York City, my Bob Marley, New York City needs to open back up the mental institutions that they closed down years ago. They need to open every one of them back up in every borough and scoop all of these dudes up off the street and put them in the mental institutions and keep them there until they get put on medication and either they come back to some type of reality or stay in there for the rest of their lives so that they can no longer annoy, alarm, harass, assault, or kill people. End of story. Now, I have heard stupid ass videos like the one that the nosy neighbor lady made about the young black woman in Brooklyn, the Sanaya, right? Spain, I think her name is. First off, guys, New York City is not like down south, okay? I heard her say stupid shit like, you know, in New York City, they don't really have cars. They get on the bus and the train a lot. Yo, that's not true, okay? We have tons of fucking cars. And there are people like me who rarely take fucking public transportation. But nowadays, because I have a new job and it is in the shitty borough of Manhattan, the lower part, which is the fucking worst part, which is where all of these supposed attacks happen, right? Listen, I don't know if I could just blatantly say these women are lying, but I find it, being a real New Yorker, very hard to believe that all these things happen and I never heard about it and I'm here in New York. Because like I told you, we have shit like Citizens app. We have like the word of mouth on the street. We have the different channels that we watch on cable or streaming in our local areas that tell us stuff about different communities. We even have community newspapers. So if something like that was really, really happening here, we would really know about it. So I'm not doubting them 100%, but I'm saying a lot of that shit, I think is just being put out there because these white people really want to get Trump into office. And for this dude, Trump, to come to a cop's wake, right? Not really care about the cop or his family, but is just there to try to pump his political agenda. Like he was on the news talking about how he was explaining to the family, yeah, we need to get back law and order in this city. And things are really out of control, more out of control than they've ever been. Believe me when I tell you, being a native New Yorker, there's nothing out of control about New York City. Believe me when I tell you that. This type of shit that's happening now that the news is sensationalizing, it happens every day here, all the fucking time. As a matter of fact, I think it was more violent when Trump was in office. I believe it. Because we had like a slew of people that lived literally on the trains, right? These people that lived on the trains would rape people, harass people, attack people, rob people, all types of shit all the fucking time. And during the COVID period and like the phase of coming out of the COVID period, keep in mind, I know what the fuck I'm talking about because during that time I was a parole officer, right? It was fucking insane. Do you hear me? I was constantly locking motherfuckers up, violating them. They back out next week, but that's how it works. So that's the other thing that I know The other reason why I know that a lot of this shit is politically motivated and it's not the truth about what's happening is because people got to understand that everything is not about being a recidivist, right? Some things are really about how shit works. And in New York City, the majority of these people that they're locking up, they're parolees who are violating the parole and committing crimes. And the reason they're doing this stupid shit the majority of the time is because these are the type of people who are in the homeless shelters or they have an unstable living situation and they really have the attitude that being in jail, getting 3 hots in a cot is better than being out in the real world and not having shit to your name and not really having the initiative to get your ass together. Utilize all of the programs and resources New York City has to get your shit together. I'm telling you. So I take the train every day and I could literally tell you that there are regular people that get into fights every day on the train, myself included, because I almost had gotten to a physical situation with a Hispanic woman on the train when I told y'all how she was stepping on my fucking foot intentionally. And I literally told her, I said, listen, y'all remember the story I told y'all? I told her, I had said, I am making a conscious decision not to retaliate against you. But you need to move your foot off of me. And you don't need to do that again. Because I'm going to stop sitting here being so nice. But anyway, that happens a lot. It happened again today. And this is the real reason behind the tensions in New York City. There's no money here. When I say no money, I don't mean we're broke because we're a rich city. People don't get paid the way that they should for jobs that they work. All right? They're being squeezed the fuck to death. Inflation's going up. The cost of living is going up. They just passed in New York City some stupid fucking congestion pricing. So now, in order for people to enter Manhattan below, 60th Street, you got to pay like 25 motherfucking dollars just to drive on the road. Do you know how many people work in Lower Manhattan, myself included, and who live there that have not been given an exemption, that got to pay this money every day they go to work or come home from work? That makes motherfuckers angry. And that makes them violent. That is why all this shit is happening. Okay? And don't start the dumb shit about, oh, it's the Democrats. It's not about that. This is about greedy fucking politicians in New York City. Greedy fucking governors, greedy fucking lieutenant, whatever, governors, greedy fucking attorney generals, greedy fucking mayors, greedy fucking all these people in New York City. Because they all make money off generating revenue for this city. So anyway, I, being on the trains every night, have found that it is the homeless people and it is mostly black males. Sometimes, every now and then, it's a stupid white man on the train causing problems. But he's also homeless. Okay? Because most white people on the train, they mind their fucking business. They stick to themselves. They get on, they stop, they get off. And normally when the entertainers get on the train, y'all know what I mean, them stupid motherfuckers flipping around on the poles on the train, right? Begging for money and shit. They move to the other side of the car. Me, I pretend like I'm asleep. I be like, right? So they don't come to me and be like, Miss, can I get $1? I'm like, no, I'm asleep. I ain't see you. So anyway, right? That's usually how it goes. But the black dudes on the train, they just be on the train bugging. And they come in the train looking to see who's on the train and how much shit they could start. Like tonight, there were 2 black dudes that you could tell was homeless. Their clothes looked dirty. They stank, right? And for whatever reason, they always come in the train and survey the black people on the train. I don't know what the fuck that is about. So on this train tonight, it was me, it was a couple of other men and a couple of other women. And we all look like, don't try it. We not in the mood for it. Don't fuck around, right? So they just stood there staring at everybody. And you can kind of like tell when a person is trying, well, I know I can, because one of them had something in his pocket. What it was, I don't know. Because he kept, it's a funny thing about people in their furtive movements when they have weapons or they have something that they want to do so badly, it's constantly on their mind. They're always touching it, they're always bringing their hand towards it or running their hand over it. So if you ever somewhere and a person keep putting their hand in their pocket or they graze over their pocket like that, it's because they're feeling for the positioning of the tool or weapon or whatever it is in their pocket, so that when they go to reach for it, react for it, they have it exactly where they need it to use it as fast as they can. That's all that shit is about. So anyway, I was watching that and I was looking at the dude in the black jacket that decided to sit in the car. It's once in New York City in the trains, it's like a love seat. It's like a love seat. It's a small seat that can only fit two people. And it's always, that seat is always by the door to the exit of the car that leads to the next car. So he was sitting in that seat and I noticed he kept fucking around with his left pocket like that. So I was saying to myself, something's in his pocket. He wants to take it out so badly, right? Because he kept fucking with it. So anyway, he kept looking at all the black people. And when I noticed him fucking around with his pocket like that so much, I was looking at how he was sitting at the chair and I readjust myself. Now, me, I have a lot of different type training. So I do things according to what I think will be the easiest takedown or the fastest attack. So I repositioned myself so that by the time he got up, I would already be over there. And it's not like, I'm trying to be super saver ho or something like that. It's the fact that if he's pulling a fucking gun, my mind was on gun. I don't give a fuck about a knife, right? My mind was on gun and I didn't have my vest on tonight. So I was saying to myself, if this motherfucker starts pulling a gun out of his pocket, I want to already be over there so I could break his fucking hand. That was my thought altogether. And I would have done it. So anyway, I was thinking that. And so I started getting ready. Like I was taking my shit off, putting my bags to the side of me so that when I get up, nothing falls. Nothing's in my way so I trip on it when I run. None of that shit. So he kept looking at me and I kept looking at him. And then, like I said, it was more black people on the train. So other black people, they kept seeing me look at him. So they also started looking at him, right? And when he noticed that, he got off the train at the next stop. So it's always these black dudes that's homeless, got something going on with them. I don't know if it's drug use, death wish, they just don't want to live no more, or they just want to set the fucking world on fire. There are people like that in this world where nothing has to be wrong with them. They just like to see shit fucked up and they like to see chaos and drama and issues happening and they like to start it. So anyway, that's my issue about the trains. And the only other thing I could say is I don't feel that the mayor should be allowed to put devices in the subway that are like x-ray machines to scan through us as we walk into the subway to see if we have weapons, because I believe, even though you may think, oh, that's a good thing, you gotta get weapons, it's not. It's an invasion of privacy. And once you start doing shit like that and they get away with one thing like that because of something as simple as crime on the subway that has always been happening, and the way you stop crime is to put more police officers on the street and in the subway, and believe me, crime will stop. Even though they have, and I'm going to explain that to y'all, even though they have the National Guard here, they only have them at like certain spots, like the train hubs. When I say train hubs, like Grand Central, because Grand Central covers the tri-state area, so they have them there. They also have them at Times Square, like all the, sorry y'all, it's been a long day, 6 o'clock in the morning start, long day. But anyway, like the major spots that people come from the tri-state area, tourists are at and stuff like that. But when it comes to like the local stops in between where a lot of the crazy shit be going down, they need the cops on the fucking train. Fuck the platform. Because if the cop is on the train, my opinion is you need 4 cops on the train. That's my opinion. Right? Because I have done patrol before. I have never been a transit cop. I have always been a straight NYPD, which is the surface. As here in New York City, we got 3 types of police. We have the housing police that work in the projects, and we have the transit police, which was Mayor Adams, that works in the subway, and the NYPD, which is the surface. We cover everything moving. And we also go, NYPD does the like outside in the streets and sectors of communities and etc. Right? But we also, from time to time, go down into the subway and into the into the housing projects. We cover it all, right? So my opinion would be, if you have 4 cops on the train, right? And I mean to the entire length of the train. You have 2 that work from the front to the back, and the other 2 would work from the back to the front. And that's all they did all day. You would not have no more fucking crime on the trains. Because those cops are going to immediately be on that train. So if the conductor is notified that it's problems in the front 2 cars, and the 2 cops that are going from the front to the back or in the middle of the train, all 4 cops could head to the front of that train and handle that shit, and that shit be done in like 5 seconds or 5 minutes. You understand? So the problem with New York City right now is not because crime is so out of control. The real thing is, and I was like shocked to see my boy, because when I was a police officer, he was one of our chiefs. What is homeboy's name? He was one of the first black chiefs too. God damn, I just seen him on the news the other night. I was like, oh shit, Chief so and so. And now because I said his name the other night, now I can't remember his shit right now. His name right now. God damn it. Anyway, I can't remember his name. But he was one of the first black chiefs in New York City. And he made the point that I was saying, and everybody else who's been a cop, is like, right now, you have less cops than you've ever had in New York City. And it's not because they quit, because I know stupid people like DZ and others be saying some dumb shit like that because they don't know what they're talking about. But it is because, remember, the mayor had stopped those couple of classes because of the budget and shit. They haven't had a few classes graduate, right? And he's still fighting and grappling with money because of all these migrants that are coming here. So the federal government can easily give him some money to hire some more cops if they really wanted to. And even the governor could shell out some money and let him hire at least, I would say, about 3 more classes, right? And that would take care of New York City just fine. For New York City to work without any problems, you need at least like 50,000 police. 50,000 or a little bit less. Because you need cops to be everywhere at all times. And that 50,000 makes up for the cops that are sick, retiring, temporarily suspended, whatever the fuck they going through. Arrested, arraigned, whatever the fuck. Because that happens to cops too. So you need it so that you have enough people, so that if you have people, some people that are taken off the roster and they're not standing in roll call and about to walk out and go on patrol at night, you need other people to take their place. Period. So if they would put more cops out here, it would be a different situation, because cops, when you don't have enough, they're overworked, underpaid, they're tired, and nobody's superhuman, not even them. And so they start to slow down. And when they call for a slowdown in the city, the crime is really going to get more violent. Because the criminals always notice, hey, the cops would usually fucking be here by now. What's up? Why they taking so long? Oh, let me tell all the rest of my dumbass criminal friends. The cops are slowing down again because the criminals know everything. They know everything cops do. I was getting ready to say we do, but I'm not a cop anymore. But they know everything the cops know. Like when the cops doing the slowdown, them motherfuckers on the street and the criminals and with everything they doing wrong in the city, they know that shit before the news does. Cause that's what criminals do. It's their job to know what the people who gonna be chasing and on their ass are doing. So that's what all this shit is about. If he would put more cops out there, you would see this shit stop overnight. But the reason it's not is because this is an election year where you have people like Trump and Biden and all those other 400 and something representatives who are all getting ready up for election this year, going into next year, about to either lose their job or be continued on their job, right? So this is why it's an issue. Because believe me when I tell you, being a native New Yorker, right, living here, all right, my family used to send me down to Louisiana every summer or not, this is where I was actually born, okay? It's always been like this. And it was even probably worse a few years ago. Like I said, it was definitely bad in 19, 20, and 21. Definitely. Because I was out there working as a parole officer, and I swear to God, during that lockdown, I've locked up more people than before and after the lockdown. I'm trying to tell you. Them motherfuckers was outside every night getting thrown in a van and sent to central booking somewhere. It was ridiculous. So anyway, this is more political than anything else. New York City's not out of control. This is normal for New York City. Even the shit when that dude, Frank, whatever the fuck his name is, got on the subway and lost his fucking mind because of Kevin Samuels and YouTube videos talking shit about women, that shit is also normal for New York City. It really is. And those of you guys that are old enough to know, that shit is just like Bernie Getz. Bernie Getz was the original, I'ma just go shoot some motherfuckers on the subway and fuck motherfuckers up when they fuck with me. That he's the original Dundada. Dundada. He's the original, okay? He got on the train, a white nerd dude, and was like, the first person who fucks with me, I'm shooting him and killing him. And that's exactly what he did. So that shit is normal for New York City. Believe me. Believe me. So that it's so normal that you see how you got all these white women talking about how they being punched in the face and shit is so crazy and oh God, it's not safe here. And I didn't even know that shit was happening. I didn't know that shit was happening until like I'm subscribed to certain news channels. So a notification came and it was channel 5 and I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And the reason I'm saying that is because I move around in those areas because I work around there. So they talk about black women, not black women. My mind is always on black women. White women getting punched in the face around Chelsea and shit. I'm like, what? I ain't seen no shit like that. What? Because the reason I don't believe a lot of them is because New York City streets are crazy busy. All right, and everybody here is not a punk. There are tons of people that will come and try to stand by you and shit like that. Like even with the shit on the train when the other day when the Hispanic dude ended up shooting the black guy, it was many people that tried to defuse that shit before the news got there and before the shit went crazy. They wasn't listening to nobody. But the people still got up and tried. Same way like with me the other night in the train, it not the train, the bus. It was a guy picking on a little Asian boy. And I was like, leave that kid alone. That's a child. You're a big grown adult. Leave that fucking boy alone. And it was me yelling at that guy, but then it was another woman, another black woman, and then a Hispanic man that was like, yeah, leave that kid alone, right? So, but the bus driver was the most fucked up person because he has a protocol to follow when there's trouble on his bus. And do you know this motherfucker just kept driving? He just kept driving. He did what he's supposed to do is say, I am calling the police. That's what he's supposed to say. Now, if you continue to act the ass after that, he has a button up there by his steering wheel that he presses, and his dispatch people at the depot, they all these buses here have trackers on them, right? So they see where he's at, and they silently, it's like a silent alarm. They silently call the cops, and at the next bus stop or whatever, the cops get on and arrest everybody. They don't even fucking ask, all right, who started, who didn't? Eric, get off the bus. The bus driver said it was you, you, and you. Put your hands behind your back. Let's go. That's what happens. But this motherfucker, I don't know if he pressed the silent alarm or not, but we were like, leave that kid alone. And this dude was flipping out the whole bus ride. This is also normal for New York City. We have a lot of fucking dumbasses in this city. Everybody is not crazy. There are just people here that like to fucking start shit. And that dude was one of them. And this motherfucker had a walker too. So you understand what I'm saying? There are just people here that like to just be fucking assholes. You on the bus with a walker, standing in the middle of the bus, holding on to the fucking rail, swaying back and forwards, talking shit, arguing with me and the other people telling you, leave that little kid alone. And the kid is looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? But little Asian boy was like a high schooler. He was just looking at the dude like, this guy lost his mind. But he was really going in on that kid, calling him all types of Asian names and shit. And I don't like Asian people like that, but I don't like people being bullied. I think, and that's a child. That's a little kid, and that's a grown fucking man. And his parents and his family members are not there to you know, stand the ground for him. So I'm like, leave this fucking kid alone. But anyway, it was just ridiculous. It was just, and this is New York City, yo. This is the dumb shit that goes on here. Now, is that every day? No. Does it happen more than enough to make you aggravated? Motherfucking right. So believe me, a lot of this shit that and I tell y'all the truth all the time, they over exaggerate. But Trump going to that cop's wake the other day was bad taste, because he didn't really care about that cop. He just went there to try to feed the poison of, oh yeah, these black people, they're the reason why this city is so bad and they causing all the crime. That's not what it is, because it's everybody committing crime here. But the majority of the people acting for like fucking assholes on the subway, those are black males. I ain't gonna front. But out in the street and everything else, that's everybody. Everybody. Equal opportunity fucking assholes running the street nonstop. Because it be white dudes. You ever see weird looking white dudes, like funny looking, tight hoods and shit on their head when they wearing a jacket, fucked up looking face, adults with fucking adult acne, that type of shit. These type of people that be out there fucking with people. Even me. I had a dude that moved into this building, and I was working with, I was working with 3 of my grandsons. And I don't know, he like tried to walk through us, and I stopped him. I pushed my hand on his chest. I said, Money, what are you doing? I said, you're not about to walk through my children like that. So he backed up and started acting stupid. Oh, fucking touch me. All this shit. So I turned to my boys. I said, step to the side. Right? So they stepped to the side. I said, dude, you better fucking go around. So he's like, oh, what the fuck? Calling me names. And I stood there watching him, and he was calling names or whatever, right? So when he finished, I said, your mother. Just like that, right? And so he got upset, and he started to charge. So I stepped to the side, and I have something I carry with me. And I swung and knocked that motherfucker down, flew all over the street, right? So then I told my boys, I said, go right here. Into, like, I put them out the way. And then I walked over to him, and I said, I'm about to fucking hurt you for real, right? And I was standing over him, and I was really about to do something really bad that I cannot say on this video. And so this is the type of shit that happens in New York City. Now, I'm not a person that goes out here looking to victimize or fuck with people, but if you fuck with me, and especially when I have my family with me, I'm going to do unspeakable fucking things to you. No shit. So one of my neighbors saw me, and I told her, you need to take them back upstairs to my apartment. Other people are there. And before that could happen, he fucking got up and left. You understand? This happens all the time here. All the time. And because it happens here all the time, you just get used to it. So that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of this stuff that you hear on the news and all this kind of stuff, it's not out of control crazy. It's really not. It is really not. It is the same shit we deal with every day. But because of this fucking election, everybody's trying to make it bigger than what it is. Now, the last thing I want to say about all this is that that's just this city. This city has been crazy like that since fucking Serpico, if any of y'all know that movie. That was in the 70s. This place has been insane since like probably like 1972. And then it got better when David Dinkins came into office. And then after he left, it got a little bit better, but started to like become a tale of two cities where the rich people started taking over every fucking thing because of Giuliani and then fucking Bloomberg. And then de Blasio and now this stupid motherfucker, Eric Adams. So this city is like, it's always been fucked up when it comes to violence, um, inequality, injustice. It's always been like that. So anyway, the last thing I want to talk about, because I heard people talking about this, especially that fucking dumbass nosy neighbor lady about the girl Sanaya, right? Spain or Spain. I'm sorry I said the name wrong if I said it wrong. Now, in Brooklyn, it doesn't matter what part of Brooklyn you in, even though where they was is a nice part of Brooklyn. But anyway, um, there are people all over, all times of day and night in New York City. That's not how we get down here. So when she was saying, oh, they outside at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's always people outside in New York City at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That's how it is. And those particular girls were coming back from a party. So 2 o'clock in the morning is early, relatively early, because most people like out to like damn near 4 or 5 in the morning. And we also have clubs here that are like in places where they don't have licenses, but people know this is where they can go if they want to go party, go drink, go gamble, go whatever. They got lots of places like that in New York City that open and close between 2 and 6 in the morning. That's what they do here. So when I hear people, once again, from other places that talk about here, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, just speak on the story and stop talking about our culture, because you don't know anything about our culture here. This place is very safe when it comes to being out all types of hours of the night. It's just, if a person wants to take advantage of you and think they have an opportunity and they want to be an opportunist, that can happen at any time, any place in this city, because that's what criminals do. They see somebody they think they could victimize, and then they go for it. But does that mean they're going to always be successful? Hell no. Because most people in the city is carrying weapons. Now, the reason that happened to that little girl is, if you listen to this story carefully, you will know that he attacked them, but he first pushed them to the ground. So like, and I think it was other people there with her, with the little girl, not little, I'm gonna stop saying little girl, with the young woman from her family. I think her brother and other people were there, and it was more people with that dude with the knife, okay? Because I told you somebody I knew them. But anyway, he did like what most bum ass, dusty, stupid motherfuckers do. They sneak attack people. So he did that, and he caught the girl off guard. But the thing that is the worst part of this story is, all that shit could have been avoided if the storekeeper would have just did what he was supposed to do. If his store is a safe haven, if your store is a safe haven, you're supposed to lock the door and call the police. If that man would have just called the police, none of that shit would have happened. If one of the girls in the store, one of the girls' friends in the store would have just called the police, none of that shit would have happened. You lock the door, you pushed him out the store, great. You lock the door, wonderful. Now you call the cops and wait for them to show up before you unlock the fucking door. But because this dude is probably, thinking like most people think in our neighborhoods when we have all these black dudes running around acting stupid, they think, oh, just throw them out. Everything will be okay. It'll cool itself down. No, you cannot do that. You have to call the police and wait. Because there's so many people over here that got bad tempers. They don't fuck around and play with people like that. It's all types of shit out here. Like I can remember years and years ago where I live, I have 2 stores that are open 24 hours of the day for people to go to work, come home from work. They just open 24 hours a day, right? So one night from my window, it was summertime, I could hear 2 men arguing, right? And the last thing I heard when one man walked past my window was, all right, motherfucker, stay there. I'm going to be right the fuck back. Now, somebody tell me some shit like that. I ain't going to be there when they come back because I already know they're going to get something to shoot me with, okay? So the other person, I guess, took it like it was a joke or whatever. And next thing I know, I hear shots ring out. Then I hear the ambulance and then I hear the police. And my son that lives around the corner from me, he has to go to work very early. So he's outside very early. Like 4:45 heading to the train station. So he had called me and he was like, Mommy, can you believe there's somebody shot dead on the corner? I said, yeah. I said, just like maybe 30 minutes ago, there was 2 dudes arguing and somebody walked past the window talking about, all right, motherfucker, stay there. I'm going to be right back. And then they say, I'm trying to go back to sleep. And then I hear the shots ring out. And I'm like, what the fuck? They out there shooting? This New York City. Anything could happen anywhere, anytime, even if it's not part of your normal situation. They don't be over here shooting and shit like that because I don't live in that type of area. So anyway, that was a few years ago. And that motherfucker was damn sure spread out on the corner, laid the fuck out. And if you know anything about the medical examiner, they take all fucking day to get somewhere, okay? All day. And so the body is laying on the ground. They cover it and they have the rookies most times standing there to keep, to protect the crime scene. But the dude was on the ground for a while. He was on the ground so long that by the time the kids start to get up to go to school, they literally had picked him up before the ME came and got him the fuck out of here. Because they didn't want the kids to see a dead person. Even though he's covered, they didn't want the kids to see no shit like that. So they got him out of here. But then the medical examiner, he be taking all fucking day to get somewhere. He really does. Like, motherfucker, come on. But anyway, anything can happen, man. Anything. That had never happened over here. Since that, it hasn't happened again, but that's not to say that if a person get upset and they go, all right, motherfucker, all right, it can happen. We have had people run, it was one day, it was, the road rage shit. It was 2 people like flying down the street fighting with each other. I was like, oh my God. I moved back. I went back to the building. They crashed into the fucking light pole in the street and the side of the building across from me, smashed the cars up. They fucked up. They still in the middle of the street fighting each other. All kinds of crazy shit. Anything can happen. It's just who you fucking dealing with. It's who you dealing with. So after that, right, the girls in the store and everybody in that store, if they would have just called the cops, none of that would have happened. I'm telling you. She would have got home safely. They would have found that fucking dude and he would have got dealt with. Because more than likely, they would have found some way to keep him and process him into Rikers. And once his ass would have gotten Rikers, he would have definitely been in there for 30 days or more. Because Rikers is so backed up, he'd have been in there for a while, boy, a while. And then when he got in there, because it's so violent and ignorant, he would have definitely assaulted somebody and that shit would have been added on to his stay. Yeah, that's why you call the fucking cops. That's why. But anyway, the main thing that I came on here and talked all around the issue, except for what I was supposed to be talking about, was the fact that don't let these black women that are from these mentalities that believe that you're supposed to give these dudes your number. Don't do that. Do not give anybody your number you don't want with your number. Do you know that they have, in addition to you just being a pussy and a punk, do you know that they have all types of like programs out here where if you give somebody your number, they could pay a little money to a program, find out where you live, where you work, all your vital information about you. They could do a reverse search. They could do a lot of shit with your phone number. Do not give these people your phone number. Don't even give them the Google numbers and all the rest of that shit, because that shit is still tied to your real phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just stop being afraid of these people. Start handling yourself like you can fucking fight. Learn to fight. Carry weapons. Carry your licensed pistols, handguns, whatever, and deal with these motherfuckers. The point I'm trying to get to across to y'all is, when you keep showing people that you're afraid of them, and all they got to do is flex a little bit on you or hit you once or twice, and now you begging for your life, and you so scared you can't do nothing to protect yourself, they're going to keep doing that to you. Women have to just be like, I'm like, don't argue and all that shit. Just get ready to fuck somebody up if they bring it to you, right? You just look, I'm not giving you I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Can I have your phone number? No. One time is sufficient. Go on your way. If somebody starts to do something to you, you are well within your right to take them away from here, or close to taking them away from here. Whatever you got to do to disable them, to get them the fuck away from you. Because it's really that serious. Like, you got to stop with this complacent mindset where, oh, if I can't beat them, I got to join them. No, you don't. You got to stand your fucking ground. If you say no, you mean no. They're going to get the message when enough people start pulling out shit on their ass and ready to fuck them up. There was a video I saw the other day, right? I forget whose channel it was. It was a really good video too. Oh, it was crazy ass Angry Biracial. He had a video on there where these black dudes, I'm trying to get it right now. You know how this has something else to do with violence in black males, but down south, right, and in other places where they do a lot of the human trafficking, they carry zip ties in their pocket, all right? So that when they get the woman to the ground, because the woman has not taken any self-defense courses or martial arts where she knows how to deal with this dude and shift his weight and her weight so he doesn't take her to the ground. He doesn't like grapple her up, right? Grapple is a wrestling term. So they don't know how to do all of this. So all these dudes do is use their weight on these women. The women psych themselves out because they want to believe these dudes are so strong that nobody could deal with them, which is a fucking lie. I'd like to see how strong you are if I take a blade and send that shit right through your fucking heart. I'd like to see how strong you are then. Or push that shit through your windpipe. I'd like to see how strong you are then. This is how you have to think, and this is how you have to act. So anyway, they carry these zip ties in their pocket, and Angry Biracial's video was showing how the woman was on her porch, had just finished walking her dog, and she was about to like just let her dog slowly walk into the home when she saw this black dude like gingerly walking up her lawn to her porch. And she like, I don't know this motherfucker. So she put her keys in that door, opened that shit, ran inside her house, slammed the door, locked it. And then she, according to the video, when you watch the video, he says that she went into a room upstairs, locked herself in, and called the police and waited for the police to come. Correct thing to do, black women, when you live by yourself and you got them little toy dogs that can do nothing to help you. I never understood why, if you live in a fucking house, this is just me now, you don't have fucking attack dogs, at least 3 of them motherfuckers. I don't understand. If you're a woman living by yourself, you live in a house. You got a fucking backyard, fence that shit in, You got a back door because most all houses come with a front, side, or back door, right? In the morning, wake up. Let your goddamn dogs out two at a time to the back to use the bathroom. Come inside. Let the last one out, go to the bathroom, come inside. The point is, never be in the house without one of your animals. Because you need somebody to help you fight if you're living by yourself, right? I don't understand why black women don't have this type of mentality. And if I lived in the South or Midwest when I could own a gun, I would have literally a gun in every fucking room of my house. So that if I got to go to that gun and reach that room and get that gun and blow you away, I don't got to worry. No place I go into is not going to be unprepared. I don't understand why these women are not like this. I really would. And I really would go so far as I don't give a fuck how hot it is. You know those bars that go on the outside of your window with the lock inside? The fire bars on the window. At my grandparents' house where I grew up as a child in Queens Village, we had those locks on every fucking window in our house. From the little basement windows all the way up to the attic windows. Because here in New York City, motherfuckers will get a ladder and climb all the way up to your window like they working for the cable company or the telephone people or Con Edison or whomever and try to really go in your shit. So we had those type of fire department regulated bar windows. We had them everywhere. Plus we had the steel, what do you call that shit? The steel screen doors so that they was reinforced at the lock. So that when you go, the shit is steel. There's no parts where you could push through it, stab nothing through it. It's steel enforced. It has the the meshy to let the air come through. But the way it's made is that there's hardly any space between it, but the air blows through the mesh and the steel, right? So when you run in your house and slam the door behind you, you could close the door, turn around and be like, nah, 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 nah. Unless they got a gun, nothing is coming through that shit, right? So anyway, I just be like surprised, like there's all this security shit out there that you can buy and like fortify your shit and make it easy for you to get in your house and make it hard for them to get in. Like you could get the locks that work both with the electronic thing on your cell phone and the hard deadbolt lock. You could get both. You understand? Like there's so much stuff out here to protect yourself and so much stuff you could do with walking in the street head to toe to protect yourself. But these women are not doing it. And then getting back to the video, right? She ran inside. He tried to get in the back door, couldn't get in. He tried to get through the front door, couldn't get in. He even tried a window, but couldn't get in, right? Then when a neighbor saw the dude walking around the house acting silly, the neighbor came out and was looking, but didn't say nothing. This motherfucker picked up the hose and was pretending to fucking get ready to water the lawn like he lived there. I'm like, first off, black women, when you live by yourself in situations like that, you need to let your neighbors know, whether you talk with them cool or not. If you ever see some dude walking around my house, call the police. Because I don't usually entertain men and have men walking around my house. Call the police. And it's as simple as that. Because let the police come. If they're not needed, thank you for coming. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. No, it's fine. I'd rather that than not have the police come and you laying spread out on the floor dead. You know? Like, y'all got to start doing things differently. And so that goes hand in hand with what I'm saying about when you do not want somebody to have your number, do not play these, I'm so scared of you, I'm going to give in to your will, your wants, your demands, and give them something and give them the encouragement to keep doing this shit. When they realize, when a black woman says, I said no thank you, and they keep pushing up or they try that ignorant shit where they're going to be dumb enough to try to attack you and you fucking pull out on them, or you get ready to jab them till they can't be jabbed no more, and they realize, oh, if I don't leave these women alone, they either going to pull out a gun or a knife and really be serious or something else and really be trying to hurt me. I'm going to just leave them the fuck alone. That's the only way you're going to get this shit to stop. I keep telling y'all, violence begets violence. Ignorance begets ignorance. That's the only way motherfuckers is going to understand you're not to be fucked with, is when you start fucking them up back. And I think it was another video he had on there where this dude just like walked up to this black lady's house, because they out here watching black women's houses, right? Because they're angry because the black women are living in homes by themselves with no dudes in it, right? So they want to be inside your house, taking advantage of your hard work and terrorizing you in your home. So he just walks up to this lady's house and turns on her hose on the side of her house and starts drinking from it. So the black lady comes out and she's like, "Sir, please don't do that. If you want something to drink, I can go inside and get you anything. I have this, that. You can have something to drink. I don't have a problem with giving you something to drink, but please don't do that." "Oh, fuck you, bitch." All this, right? So she's like, "You got to get out of here now, because I'm offering you something to drink, but you can't be running my water like that with my hose. That shit costs money. And it's real," right? So he, instead of him leaving, he gonna try to run at the black lady like he gonna do something. So she went in her house, right? So when she went in the house, because he couldn't fight with her, because she came outside with no weapon like a dumbass, right? Even if you don't have nothing and all you got is like a couple of kitchen knives and a heavy motherfucking skillet, use that if you ain't got nothing else, right? And she came outside with nothing. He got mad because he couldn't like try to swing on her or intimidate her. She bested him, right? Do you know this motherfucker went on to start breaking her windows out? And she put up with that shit until a shard of that glass hit her daughter. And something in her just triggered the mama bear. And she had one of those electric wands that's like you prod the animals. Like the electricity, that shit is mad electricity, right? A lot of voltage. She got so mad. She ran out that door and hit that motherfucker with it, and he tried to block it with his hand. It hit his hand, and that shit went through him. He managed to like get away, and then he started running from the black lady. And I was saying to myself, why the fuck she didn't go out there with that from the beginning? She could have ended this story a long motherfucking time ago, and he would have learned, don't fuck with her, because she's gonna come out with something to hurt me. It took her daughter almost getting hurt for her to realize this nigga is damaging my property, fucking with my water, causing me a bill. I'm gonna go out here and fuck him up. It took her to have something mean something to her for her to stand up for herself. That's the whole point that's the whole parable and point of this story, ladies and gentlemen, or my ladies, my black women. Don't wait until shit gets to the point where you feel like, oh, God damn it, you done it now. No. You supposed to stand your ground. You're not supposed to ever let anybody fucking abuse you, fuck your shit up, just because they feel like they don't got shit, they don't like their position or lot in life, so they're gonna fuck up yours. I be goddamn, you fuck with my shit, you gonna, what? You the fuck, you know how much motherfucker I had to work it? You better get your fucking crazy fucking ass from around here before nobody ever see you again. I'm telling you. She was in her house. She walked past the shovels and all that shit. Lady, you crazy? It would have been a shovel to the motherfucking head faster than you know. And then when you hit that ground, nigga, you better make sure I don't accidentally fucking decapitate you. Because it can't be done. Like, I don't understand what the fuck these people be thinking about. There ain't gonna be no terrorizing over here. I'll be the fucking terrorizer, okay? It ain't gonna be no terrorizing over here. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't know. I guess like with me, because I had so much victimization when I was a child, some in my shit just clicked the wrong fucking way, because now I'm like, you want to do what? You think I'm going to just let you come over here and do some shit? You really fucking think that? Okay. All right. And that's how my mind is. Go. That's my shit. So I don't understand why. I really do not understand why other women are not like that. Especially when a motherfucker is breaking your windows out, chasing you into your shit, and then destroying the shit you worked hard for. Oh, I'll be goddamn. That's why I say y'all need to get prepared. Y'all better stop fucking around. Get on the motherfucking internet. When you live in these Midwest places and big houses and down south and rural and push back and out of the way houses, you need to get yourself some what I call super dogs. Get yourself a motherfucking cane corso. That motherfucker will tear a man in half. Do you understand me? Get yourself a fucking Turkish mountain dog. That will tear two niggas in half. Get yourself some Naya on the floor, a motherfucking Akita, which is a fucking Japanese attack dog. They were used in wars. They will fuck a motherfucker up, okay? Or like Nice Daddy, an Alaskan Malamute with a vicious, nasty motherfucking attitude. A motherfucker like, y'all ever read that book? What's that book we had to read in high school where the dog was one of them? Oh, goddamn. Not Wolfen. Oh, man. I hate when I can't remember the names of the book. But it was a book about a dog that was an Alaskan Malamute mixed with a wolf. I know everybody has read this book. The book just will not come to my mind. And it was like, the dog was a bad dog. Because he was half wolf, he was really, really fucking wild. And the owner had to let him go. The whole story is about this dog getting his shit together to become fully domesticated. He finally got his shit together. But along the way, this motherfucker was tearing people's asses up. That's the kind of dog you need. I'm trying to tell you, you need that kind of dog. You do. Naya is no joke. And every other dog like her, like, I have another, there's 3 or 4 Akitas in this building, including Naya's mother. Naya's mother is a pure Akita from Japan, right? And there's Akuma. Akuma is also a purebred Japanese Akita. Looks different in everything. Body different, teeth different, right? Akuma is the fucking man. When I tell you he's the man, he's like, his reason his name is Akuma. Y'all remember Akuma from the Street Fighter game? He's got that orange panda look. Black in the face with a sprinkle of the white and stuff like that with a black tail. He looked very similar to Akuma. It's crazy. That's probably why she named it that, right? But anyway, that dog is vicious as fuck. But him and Naya cool like this because they both the same and they both puppies. So anyway, he's getting mad big. Now, Naya's big because her father's big. But Akuma, just being a male Akita, that dog is almost bigger than Naya. That's the kind of shit black women need in their houses when they live in homes by themselves. And these dogs, they don't do all that barking. They can bark, and when they do bark, they sound like fucking wolves or something. They shit is so deep, right? But they don't really bark like that. What they do is they come get you. Because like with Naya, when somebody's at the door or whatever, I'm in the kitchen, she'll come all the way from the door, walk through everywhere, come to me and go, like that, right? They make funny, they do weird, like, houndy sounds. You know, like a hound make that, ooh, they do that shit too. So if you don't get your dog to stop doing that, you won't be able to sleep at night. But they do that. They hound a lot. They do the shit to the moon. I kind of like that. I think that's very fucking cool. Me, having the chalk tower and shit like that in my family, that's part of the great spirit that we believe in. That's from the wolf. So when she does that, I really fucking love that. I really do. And also, like, in my picture window, I have like a really huge dream catcher with the great spirit on it, with the great wolf. I love that shit. So anyway, when she does that, it just makes me feel so good. So, but anyway, you need them type of dogs. The cane corso, a 100% mastiff, right? Or and these are big, heavy dogs. Like they take a lot of food, so just know that. But believe me, they ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. Nothing. And it's hard to handle them, so know that up front. So that's why I'm recommending these dogs to people in homes. Because when them dogs go to fuck off, it's very hard for you to pull them physically back and be like, okay, stop. You got to really train these dogs because they powerful as fuck. Believe me when I tell you. They will maul the whole fucking block if you have, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all, right? So, because all these type of dogs are kind of dogs, the dogs I'm talking to you about, they were used in war and to hunt bears. If a motherfucking dog can hunt a bear, that's a tough motherfucking dog. People don't have no chance with that fucking dog. That's type of shit I'm talking about. And that's type of stuff y'all need to learn. So that when you in these places where these black dudes think they gonna walk up into your house and zip tie you up, rape you up, beat you up, and then sell you to the nigga down the street, think again, motherfucker, because this dog gonna rip your motherfucking throat out, and I'm gonna be burying you in the backyard where nobody would know you was ever there. Or plant you under the fucking crawl space of the house, put some fucking quicklime on your ass, and make you disappear into the never never. I'm trying to tell you, child, we different in Louisiana. We very different. In Shreveport, we very fucking different, okay? Oh, it ain't gonna be no you coming up in here and turning our house all upside down. You will disappear. One way or the other. So y'all need to, this shit that I see and all this cowardly shit, women, just give them your number, please. Give them a fake number. They have different apps. They have this. Fuck that. You don't owe this raggedy, dirty motherfucker nothing. If you don't want to give nobody, you a grown motherfucking woman. If you don't want to give somebody your number, that's it, motherfucker. That's it. And if we got to get down, then we get the fuck down. But you ain't making me do shit I don't want to do. Their problem is, and this is all these motherfuckers, they think women are their motherfucking playthings. And somebody, they can just do whatever the fuck they want to whenever they want. You got to really show them that you're not. You really do. I'm going to tell you this last thing and get the fuck out of here, right? That's like at my job. There's a dude there who's really a fucking weirdo. He's a black dude. But he's probably one of those black dudes that's trying to see which women at work he can fuck. Because this dude's always staring at us and always staring at me. I can't stand this nigga. So he walks by, he's always like looking at me. I'm like, the fuck you looking at? I can't say that because I don't lose my job. But I'd be looking at him like, what the fuck you looking at? Like, your ugly ass away from me. But anyway, one day I was talking to my African girl, my homegirl at work, Belle. Bellicus is her name. So Belle, I'm talking to Belle, and she was complaining about something. I said, Belle, you really got to get to the point. Now, this is me and her conversation. This nigga shouldn't be listening, right? And this is, again, about black women being assertive, right? So I'm telling her, I say, Belle, believe me, I get it. You got your Nigerian culture, traditions, I get it. But ain't nobody supposed to be making you feel like shit, talking to you like you this big, treating you like you one of the fucking children. I'm sorry, Belle. That's some bullshit. I said, you got to get out of that indoctrination of thinking that you supposed to be some fucking worshiping woman to this man and believing that this religion is what you supposed to be living for. No. Let go of the religion and let go of the fucking man. This is what I'm telling her. This piece of shit is in the background looking at me. I turned around. I'm like, can we help you with something? The fuck? You need us for something? Work-related, motherfucker? Why are you over here? You're going to just turn around and leave. Nigga, get the fuck. Be making faces when I'm telling her, what are you? She's telling me about her husband smacking her in her face and talking to her like she's crazy. I'm like, girl, I ain't the one for this conversation. Because that nigga would have had his ass in jail so fast. And me, with every attorney I could find, getting every dime out of this motherfucker, getting him the fuck up out my place, and making sure he could only see his children through supervision. I would go the fuck in on him. Play the whole fucking scenario of, oh, I'm so afraid. I'm so hurt. I can't sleep at night. I'll go through the whole shit. Then I become a real punk bitch just to get what I want. But after that, shit. Don't come around me, son. Don't come around me. But I just don't understand that type of shit. And it's good to do that kind of stuff. Because everybody thinks that women are so, they've been indoctrinated that we are helpless. Like we don't know how to kill. We don't know how to fight. We don't know how to hurt people. We just pussies. We just easy wins. This is what they think, right? Let them think that shit when it's to your benefit. But when you gotta show somebody that you ain't nobody to fuck with, go all the fuck out. I'm dead serious. Because that shit she was telling me, man, slap her in her face when she in the kitchen. I said, what was you cooking? So she cooking chicken. I said, the grease was hot? She like, yeah. I said, you throw that shit in that nigga's face and then take that pan and slap that motherfucker in his face with it? I said, you great. You wonderful with restraint. Because they would have been still pulling me off of him by the time they got there. Because I would threw that shit in his face and slapped him with that fucking pan repeatedly until his head came off his body. Oh, hell no. What? Stop doing things with these dudes you don't want to. That is exactly why I say it needs to be a 4B movement in America for black women. Black women alone, and then all the other women will follow. Stop fucking these dudes. Stop having kids with these black dudes. Stop marrying them. Stop dating them. And definitely stop being pussies and giving them your phone number. Just keep walking. Now, another thing she said that she's totally wrong about, well, maybe where she live in St. Louis or wherever the fuck she live, these guys only want to talk to young women. But where I'm from, they don't give a fuck who you are, what age you are. They only caring about what the fuck you could do for them. Ain't none of these dudes out here in New York City caring about how you physically look. They just want to know if you got a nice place to stay, you got some money, you riding around in something, you have things that they can take advantage of. That's what they give a fuck about. Because they don't really like none of you, whether you young, old, or whatever. They just trying to use all of us. Every fucking day in this city, and I'm not joking, there is some black dude somewhere. Excuse me, ma. I'm like, I'm not your mother. Have a nice day. That's how they talk down here. Excuse me, ma. I'm not your mother. Have a nice day. Or, hello, sis. I'm not your sister. I don't even fucking know you. I don't go into all that shit. That's it. That's most of the time shit I say all day. I'm not your sister. And I try to be funny with it. But I keep moving. If you make the mistake to try to run up on me, I'm going to pull. Don't do it. Then, the other thing is, I'm not your mother. Keep walking. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. But see, I understand a little bit what she was saying about the age is because when you're an older woman and you kind of like me, I ain't afraid of none of these dudes. None of them. There's nothing they could do I'm not going to retaliate back against, right? So that's not an issue for me. But a young girl who's taught to be scary, who is scary, yes. But even her, she's got to learn, stop being scary. Stop wearing long ass fucking fingers where you can't fight, can't function, fingernails. Yo, you need to protect yourself. Being cute and all that shit is one thing. But being cute and ended up a fucking corpse is another thing. That shit don't go together. So be functionally beautiful. Right now I don't have nails on. The other day I had on like some really nice fucking press on nails, but they kept getting messed up. So I took them off. And I stopped going to the salon for a little while because I'm trying to build up my savings account, my high yield saving account. I'm trying to get it to the max for the year. So I can't be spending money for dumbass nails every 2 weeks when I'm trying to get that shit past 8 G's. Now I get it past 8 G's, I can go back to playing in the fucking salon if I feel like it. But money is important to me, not dumb shit. Okay, that's real. Like, I told you guys, this is another thing too, right? All right, this is really the end of it. Then I'm gonna get the fuck up of here. Like I told you guys, remember how I got fired during the COVID from the city, and then not past the COVID, like when Eric Adams came into office, right? So I had finished with the state, and I was working private, and then I went to the city, right? So I was working at the city, and then they started that bullshit where if you didn't get the shots, you had to go get tested for COVID every week. I was loving that. You got time off, you go get tested, your shit come back negative, you good, send it into HR, you good. Then they was like, after de Blasio left and this motherfucker got inaugurated into the office, then he was like, oh, boom. Everybody who don't have it, they getting fired, right? So got fired. All right. Then I worked private again. So, excuse me. So when I got fired, I'm chilling at home and shit, wasting my money. I've been working and save, right? I was getting, trying to look for a job, get back to work and all that shit. So I had found another little job. I'm working. They called me back. All right. So now all that time I was gone, that fucking money that I had taken all those years to accumulate for retirement was gone. And the time that I had, my seniority and all that shit was gone, right? So when I come back to work, they have a thing here in New York City where if you work for the city, it's called a buyback option, right? So you buy back your time or you can buy back the tier you was in. This is the important part right now, y'all. When I first left this city they canned me because of the shot, I was in tier 1. When I came back, they put me at the fucking end of the line like that motherfucker said he would in tier 6, y'all. Do you know the difference between the first and sixth tier? The first tier, you get like 80% of your fucking pension. Do you know that's almost 100% of your money that you've been putting in for years, right? Tier 6, you get like 40 or 30% of your fucking money you've been putting in all those years. So there's no way I was staying over there. So I called, I found out everything, and I put in for it. So that's the moral of that fucking story, right? When you out here working, you preparing yourself for everything you need to prepare for, money is important. And when you're looking to retire, look at your retirement plan. How much is percentages is giving you when you get ready to go out? 60, 70, 80, whatever it is. That's important. And if it's any way to get out of that and go to a higher tier, you do that, because that's more money when you get ready to leave at the end of all the time you've been working. So this is why it's important for you to take shit seriously in your life. Your safety and your fucking money. And you know I'm always talking about those things, indirectly and directly. Money and safety. Y'all in these houses, get these dogs that will tear a motherfucker up, okay? Get your weapons, your licensed pistols, guns, and all that stuff. In addition to everything else you need, get your house prepared for an intruder and for you to defend yourself. Get your cameras put up all over your house too. Like if you have a main entranceway, put the camera coming and going from the main entranceway and the back door as well, and through the middle of the house. You can do whatever you want upstairs as well, the stairwell, the hallway, whatever you want to do. But do it where if you have to take somebody's head off, you have the cameras to show this person was chasing you, shot at you, punched at you, stabbed at you, threw something at you, to the point where you said, oh, my life is in danger. I got to get rid of this person. They no longer exist after today. That's what you got to do. And you got to have no fucking hesitation about that shit. You got to be able to do that shit like this and with fucking ease and accuracy. And that's all I got to say. So now I'm tired. I just don't like women being taken advantage of, and I don't like women selling themselves short and not really having all the confidence they need to buck up on a motherfucker and just show them. Motherfucker hurting people work both ways. Ain't no motherfucking difference. What you could do, I could do too. And it's really that simple. Like, I'm telling you. It's really that simple. And you ain't got to tell nobody shit. Show them better than you could tell them. They doing all that crazy shit. I tell y'all, take martial arts seriously. Because I just learned a move today that's like when people be trying to run you down, run up on you. They showed me a move today. I got to work on it. I got to perfect it though. They showed me a move to get up into the person before they even get their arms fully extended, where they can't move. And then me, being a blade person, I'm going to really go to work. I'm going to really go to work. And there's nothing more personal than a blade. Nothing. I'm trying to tell you. All right, okay. Stop giving people your phone number if you don't want to. You don't have to make a big to-do arguing and all that. Don't do that. Keep walking. If shit escalate, deal with it. However you see fit, but don't run, don't cower. In my opinion, you do what you feel like you got to do. But don't be letting these people, these black dudes out here feel like if they come raise their voice or try to stand over you and try to act like they're going to flex or try to get strong on you, make you all of a sudden the biggest pussy in the world. Okay. And give out your number. Now, fuck that. No. Let them go they dirty fucking stink breath, stink ass, don't wash or wipe their ass way. No. They so gross. You should see them down here. Believe me. I take the bus to work. When I be waiting for the bus in the morning time, these motherfuckers is outside early as fuck, staring in black women's faces. I just be rolling my eyes like, what the fuck? Get the fuck away from me. Don't look at me. Get away. I don't give a fuck about you, homie. You go over there. Me and other black women too. Even one time today, I was crossing the street and there was this black dude coming out the building walking his dog when I had finally I take the bus from Queens to Manhattan, right? So I was taking the bus and we crossed the street and he was like looking at her and then looking at me and we both looking at each other like, she was mad funny. It's like, yo, you are like not like son. You you really don't understand that, do you, right? You out here killing people, killing black women and children, talking shit about us on the fucking internet and all this shit. You think we supposed to be like, oh girl, he fine, girl. No, fuck you, nigga, keep walking. Shit is funny. Oh, I know I done said this about 25 times. Last thing for real. So I called my council person today and my lovely little lady, inside I don't want to say her name because she might see this video, but my lovely little lady who is one of the representative assistants, I don't know what you call them, but she's a constituent, I guess constituent worker, I have no idea. But anyway, she helped me. She said I sent her the email with all the stuff that I had to about the Black Femicide March in the park. I told her that I'm thinking about doing it in one of the Queens parks. So she's like, okay. The reason I'm saying that is because I didn't ask the park yet. So I got to ask the park. So I'm going to call them tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Saturday. I can't do that. I got to call them Monday. So I'm going to call Monday. And I'm going to try to find out, like, if I want to have an event here, what do I have to do with you guys? And I'll go on the Parks Department website and see what else I can do, too. I just want to make it where it's very comfortable for black women because I know this one particular park, it's a park that celebrates Black history in Queens. So I would like to do it there because I know it has plenty of parking space. It has, I think it has a basketball court and a tennis court. It has a lot of stuff. And when they have like music festivals, they have it at that park. Cause girl, oh my God, every time I went there, I go to my little Jamaican music festivals. I saw I don't know if y'all know who Popcorn is, but I saw Popcorn. I saw What's that lady's name? She comes from the Spanish speaking part of Jamaica. Oh my God. My brain is just like drawing a blank. I must be getting early Alzheimer's. What is her name? I can't think about it right now. But she's like one of these singers I listen to, Jamaican singer. And who else had come out? It was a lot of them. It was a few of them. You know, like when they have those reggae star and dancehall famous people, Shensia, that's what it was. So they have this all the time and all over New York. Like when I worked in the Bronx, they used to have it out there a lot, but they have it in Queens too a lot. So last time I went to one of the Jamaican festivals, it was in that park. So I'm gonna find out if I can have my march there, and if I do, y'all are gonna like it because it's a nice park. And my girlfriend that used to work with me in the 113 precinct, her mother used to be the director of that park. I doubt if she's still there now because that was many many years ago. But you never know. So her name is Miss Moody. So if Miss Moody is still there, I'll just be like, oh, you don't remember me? You don't remember me? No. But anyway. So, but I'm gonna still try though. I'll let y'all know, cause I got my girl in my councilman's office, Councilman Moya. Shout out to Councilman Moya, right? I called her, so she's gonna let me know, and then I'll be letting y'all know, cause I'm very excited, and I really hope that they let me, cause the police department, yo, I straight forgot the cop just got killed the other night, so I'm calling and calling the freaking precinct's community affairs office. Nobody's picking up. Nobody's returning my phone call. So I called beefing today. I called the police. I'm like, I've been calling like 2 days. Why nobody returning my phone call? So he's like, oh, it's probably because of the funeral, ma'am. It's tomorrow. I said, oh my God. I said, oh, much respect. I'm sorry. Apologies and condolences. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that the cop just got killed the other day. I'm so sorry. I said, I will wait. I said, take my information again, please, and I will wait for them to call me. I said, I totally forgot. And it's true. How disrespectful of me. Like, I know the man just died like day before yesterday. They just had the wake the other day, and you heard me talking about the wake in the beginning of the video. But because it was something I was so focused on and only wanted, I wasn't even thinking about putting context clues together. Like, hello, you're calling them for something that is done on an ordinary basis, but right now they're going through a half, you know, when a cop dies, a member of service dies, they put the flag at half staff. Because in New York City we have the police department's flag for the precinct, we have the flag for the city, and then sometimes we have the flag for the state and the American flag. So it's mad flags hang low, and then you have it's like a black mock that they put outside of the precinct is purple and I think like deep navy blue. I think you call it indigo. I'm not sure, but it's that color. They drape it on the front of the precinct to let you know that a member of service passed away. I'll never forget, because my dude that me and him came out of the academy together. His name was Eddie. I ain't gonna tell you his last name, right? In case family member or something. Eddie was my boy. Like me and Eddie came out of the academy together. He was like one of these guys that back in those days like anime, cartoons, and was a comic book fanatic, right? And a Harley fucking enthusiast, right? This dude loved Harley bikes. And I mean like the old fashioned Harleys with the big like rabbit ear handles. This dude had the illest Harley. So he used to drive that to work every day, and he had a car too. Because in the wintertime when I couldn't dig mine out, I'd be like, "Yo, Eddie, come get me!" Right? So because we didn't live far from each other, and we went to the same job every day. So anyway, one day he was on his way to work, and this was like y'all. This was 1994, because that was the winter we had like the worst blizzard ever in New York City. It shut the whole city down. So we was coming out of that blizzard, like when the shit thaws out, and it's just like the icy and the water and everything. He was on his way to work on his bike, right? Do you know these fucking people hit my boy on the Grand Central Parkway 5 fucking times. One person hit his bike. They like hit him and he spun around. Another person hit him. Then he flew off the bike. 3 fucking people ran him over. They destroyed my boy. And it's emotional because like I never cried so hard for a person that was not related to me, you know? And it was like I know what those people are going through now with the fact that this cop just died the other day and he was a rookie too, right? So it's fucked up because his family, well, it's okay. His family, I believe, one of the organizations down here that help take care of the mortgages for police officers and firefighters, they paid off his house and stuff. So that's a good thing. But a lot of times when you new like that and you don't have all your paperwork set up, your family doesn't get the money that they would normally get if you were a police officer that been there for a while. You got your will together, you got your insurances together, you got all your shit together where when you die, they just pay everything out to your people and you good. I don't think he was there long enough to get that. But anyway, you never know. Some people are more money savvy than we know, especially white folks. But anyway, I remember Eddie, and I still get like choked up and very emotional to this day because I liked the boy. I say boy, but he was a man so fucking much. And then, like, I get emotional because I think about how they did him. They just, even though they didn't know he was a cop, they just brutally killed him because he was on a motorcycle versus cars. And it's just fucked up. So I think about like when I went to his funeral, it was sad. It was very, very sad. And even though when an officer dies, they do the same salute that is done with the military because police are paramilitary, right? So I know what they're going through, but it's just my mind it had slipped my mind because I was just so worried about what do I need to get this goddamn march going? Give me the sound permit. Give me this. Give me that. You know, and I'm like being persistent. And then until the cop was like, they'll get back to you, ma'am. It's just the fact that the funeral was tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God. Right. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. And he was like, oh, no worries. No worries. It's okay. I said, okay. Just, I understand. You know, my condolences. Sorry again. Much respect. Like, just, I'll wait for them to call. And I will. But I was like calling every day. It was, Anyway, good night, y'all. I done talked forever. Don't be giving out your phone numbers if you don't want to. Don't let nobody intimidate you into doing no shit you don't want. Because if you let these motherfuckers get your number, that's the way they walk into your life and bring the rest of their bullshit behind them. They get your number, and especially if you have to see them motherfuckers again. You never know. If you live in a vicinity where they are, oh, you ain't getting my number, give me some fake bullshit. You don't need none of that. You don't need none of that bullshit follow-up. Just straight up, no thank you, I'm not interested. Keep walking. If somebody try to catch up to you, then you do what you got to do to fuck them up. And that's all to it. Call the police too. The police will be on your side. They will. When they hear the story and you a woman and if you are somewhat smaller than them and you got to fuck them up, they really going to be on your side more than you know. Especially if a motherfucker like me show up. I'm trying to tell you. I was always on the women's side. Like, nigga, step back. Like, what? Step the fuck back and go over there and sit down. I'm not playing with the motherfuckers. I'm not. Me and my expandable metal baton was inseparable. And I'll crack a fucking head in a minute and them metal things can do it. That's why I tell y'all need the right shit on your body. And you can order those things yourself. Those expandable batons, the ones that when you flick them, they fucking pop out and they don't go back in unless you bang them down on something real hard to make the force, makes the spring send it back up. Because, you know, it's spring release. When you flick that shit extends. Boom, 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 boom. And then you just fucking break kneecaps, break arms, break legs, break a motherfucking jaw. Because I like that. Motherfuckers be talking all that shit. Bow! Right in the fucking mouth. Motherfucker, all that blood and that shit be out. Like, yeah. Step back, be ready for another fucking blow. I'm like, yeah, all right, bitch. And that, because it's like that. But I'm getting too crazy now, so I'm going to get out of here. Bye.